You're watching Talking Points, a focus on the political scene in Lubbock and across the South Plains.
And welcome back. Here's a look at some of the political headlines of the past week. Well, there will be no straight ticket voting in the November election after all. A federal judge ruled last month to bring the practice back, citing virus safety concerns and quicker voting times. But an appeals court said no, and the state legislature's action to ban straight ticket voting will stand. After a special election on Tuesday, we need a runoff now to decide the Texas Senate race for District 30. Businesswoman Shelley Luther replaced State Representative Drew Springer in that runoff. Many of you know Mr. Springer's House district extends into some of our eastern counties. The governor will now have to set a special election date for that runoff and then may have to do another one for House District 68 if Springer wins. And President Trump's Supreme Court nominee, Judge Amy Barrett, who has apparently already recovered after catching the virus in the summer, quickly meeting with senators on Capitol Hill. They still want this confirmation process to be finished by Election Day. We'll see. Lubbock Representative Jody Arrington said this week that Judge Barrett, quote, understands that we undermine democracy and trample the will of the people when judges act like legislators. I applaud President Trump for another stellar appointment to the Supreme Court. Part of choosing your local leadership in these elections is deciding who will be the best choice to carry us smoothly into the future. Lubbock County's massive growth isn't going away, and the fact that Lubbock is putting together a plan for the next 20 years will help whoever leads the city between now and then. Part of that Lubbock 2040 plan has been this proposed Unified Development Code. City planners say a vote on that should take place in March. It starts with a downtown focus as planners also struggle to keep up with the infrastructure needs in the rest of the city. KAMC's Matthew Stell was at an open house on the topic this week.
When Lubbock residents were asked what they thought of development in the hub city, bland, sprawl, and flexible were a few words used.
It's going to take all of us to make this a great asset to the city.
And planners say that starts with redeveloping downtown Lubbock through a form-based code.
Form-based code requires that specific building types and building forms are used, and then the function now follows the form.
In simpler words, areas like downtown won't be limited to the conventional zoning we're used to seeing, but instead mixed-use design.
Mixing uses of office and retail and residential and creating more lively downtown area.
Parks, outdoor restaurants, storefront shops, condos, hotels, all by the year 2040.
Having that flexibility makes a big difference and will be enticing to some people to come down. And I think one thing to keep in mind, I think it'd be real important to create some nice green space and walking areas and so forth, so that people that do intend to come down and live in apartments in this area will feel like they have some advantages in doing so.
Planners hope that dividing downtown into 6 different mixed-use districts will make it easier for developers and business owners to know where they should set up shop.
You know, we want foot traffic, people living and working, walking, playing, being able to live in downtown and do everything in downtown.
And that in 20 years, people will think of Lubbock as these words instead.
I've been interested in downtown Lubbock, and I've seen it when it was many people here shopping on Saturdays to no one downtown. So I think we need to turn it around and go back in the direction of getting people here.
All right, Matthew, thank you so much. I want to spend 5 good minutes now with home builder and land developer Jordan Wheatley here to kind of get a different view of some of the issues surrounding the area growth now. You know, we're talking about the city's Unified Development Code there. Would that affect anything you're trying to do?
It will. It's just it's an updating process to the City of Lubbock's development code. Yeah. It really hasn't been updated in, I think, 30 or 40 years. So it's just bringing us up to speed. There's not a lot of there's not many things in there that are super controversial. It's just getting us up to speed. So
well, I know you've been talking a lot about these proposed impact fees now, and an issue that seems to be about to come to a head with the City Council. Can you, in simple terms, sort of explain what is being proposed here with impact fees and what those are?
So impact fees are a new fee that would be paid at the time a general contractor would pull a building permit.
Okay.
So when you go to pick up your building permit, you'd also be paying for this impact fee. It's paid by the builder initially, but that builder, like anything that he buys when he's building a home or anything, adds that to his cost of goods sold, and then adds that and sells it to the end home buyer.
Sure.
So what we want people to know is developers do not pay impact fees. They will never ever write a check for an impact fee. and a builder is just a pass-through cost.
Right.
So if someone's leasing a new property or buying a new property or building a new home, they're going to realize the effect of that impact fee.
Well, yeah, just like lumber or nails or pipes or whatever it would be.
Right.
Now, on the surface, and we've had some city folks in who have talked about some of this, it seems, I guess, reasonable as the area grows and the demand for homes and commercial development increases, why not help pay for the roads or water or sewer or whatever it is that you would need in those areas as well? What's really the disagreement with all this?
The disagreement is specifically on water and sewer.
Mm-hmm.
Water and sewer fees are paid for via your enterprise fund, which is your utility bill. When you get a utility bill, you're paying for a portion of water and sewer throughout the whole community.
Mm-hmm.
So that fund has proven to be sustainable. It has in the last, since it's been in its inception, and it's proven that it will be sustainable for the next 10 years. So that fund is healthy, and so that is our argument, is that we want water and sewer taken out of consideration. Roadways, on the other hand, we agree that we would like to meet the city halfway on roadways. We see that there is a need for contributing to roadway funds at the 50% discount level of what the calculated impact fee is.
Gotcha.
So that's where we are. We would like to see a meeting in the middle at 50% discount for all sectors of new construction.
And all sectors kind of being important. You know, there's a group called Lubbock Compact that's trying to, I guess, more or less exempt these fees for development and redevelopment inside the loop. Is that a good idea, or is that fair business practice if you're going to do a lot in, say, Southwest Lubbock and would have to pay more on this deal?
So the overall impact fee is calculated based on vehicle miles. It's a very long calculation, but really there's not a lot of land left inside the loop to calculate and a new fee, so that's okay. And they're proposing, I believe it's zones G and H, to have a 0 roadway impact fee, and that's great, that's fine. But what we want everyone in Lubbock to know is that development is good for the city of Lubbock. That's why the city council annexes property.
Right.
It's a good benefit, and it's good for the city of Lubbock. Otherwise, they would not annex property at all. I mean, it was said at the last budget hearing at city council that new development helped balance the budget and keep property taxes flat or a little bit less. Right. So city council knows that new development is good.
Right. Yeah, I saw one proposal saying, do this thing, set the water and the wastewater fee on part of this at 0, at least for now. Would that be acceptable to you guys, or what other options are there if they're determined to get this thing passed?
So that is the recommendation from the SEAC committee, to set water and sewer at 0, just to adopt the whole plan, but set water and sewer at 0. We might look at that as long as it is under wraps for a certain period of time frame. Right. Say 5 years, lockbox type deal. So we've yet to negotiate that deal yet, but I think that would be a wait and see type approach, and I think that that's okay to wait and see how your enterprise fund, your utility bill is maintaining with the demand of new development.
And the demand is still through the roof. I know you guys are working essentially 24/7. They're getting things together and homes built and everything else. There's another hearing coming up on this. Am I correct?
That's right.
All right. How can folks get involved, and what can they do if they say, look, I'm about to buy a house or about to build or whatever. I don't want to pay all this. How can they get involved in this?
It's October 6th at City Hall at the new tower at 5:30, I believe, and it's open for public comment. Our group will be there, the Impact Fee Task Force, that's made up of the Chamber of Commerce, the Apartment Association, West Texas Home Builder Association, and the Apartment Association. Our 4 main building communities and their associations have band together for one voice on this, so we'll be representing us.
Pretty powerful voice as Lubbock continues to grow, too. I know that for sure, so we'll see where this turns out, and go get involved if you want to here coming up this week. Jordan Wheatley, home builder and land developer and everything. Thanks for being with us and trying to explain all this for us.
Yeah,
I think it's a little tough.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Okay.